Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah. In this video I'm going to show you how to make an inverted pyramid card, also known as a tunnel topper. If you want to make a card using the exact sheet I'm using in the video, check out the description below and I'll leave a link to it. I'll also put a link in there to where you can find thousands of other tunnel toppers to choose from. Let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is to download and print your craft sheet. This one I'm choosing here is by Carol Clark, and I purchased it from craftsyprint.com. So I've put the link to this exact sheet in the description below the video, but if you have a look on Craftsy there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different inverted pyramids to choose from, and there are lots of other places on the internet you can get them as well. I love Carol's designs, they're really cute. And also Craftsy, as well as being a download website, also offer this amazing service where you can pay a little bit extra and they'll print the sheet out and post it to you. And that's what I did for this one. My printer's been having, a few little issues recently. So I thought it would be better to get it printed for me and then sent straight to my doorstep, which is what this was. I'm really happy with how this turned out because the glossy photo paper it's been printed on has a lovely shine to it. It's a good thickness, so it's gonna one, be easy to cut because it's not too thick, but two, it's sturdy enough that my layers are going to stand out really nicely on the card. So however you decide to get your sheet, whether you're downloading it and printing it at home or getting it printed and posted to you, the first thing you need is this printed sheet. Once you've got that, you need to cut everything out. So as well as cutting around the outside of all of these squares, you also need to cut out the white squares in the middle. I found the easiest way to do that is with a craft knife and a metal ruler on a craft mat like this. The craft mat is to protect your surface so you don't accidentally cut it, and then the metal ruler and the craft knife let you cut perfectly straight lines to get all of these squares out. I have cheated a little bit and jumped ahead and assembled my main card. I've taken the image on the sheet which doesn't have a white square in the middle because that's the bottom one, and then I mounted that onto a slightly bigger bit of blue card, and then I've stuck that onto a blue shimmer card. You can probably see if I show you the back, it's got this really nice glittery feel to it. And then on that I stuck a slightly smaller piece of patterned cardstock. You don't have to stick your topper to the card before you make it all 3D, but I prefer to. I find it easier to stick it on when it doesn't have the 3D layers because it's easier to line up and get everything nice and straight. If you're interested in the stripy paper that I used, it is from Dovecraft. It's from a collection called Sweet Moments, and I love this paper pack. If I just skim through, you can see you've got flowers, and that's the one I used with the lines. You've got some nice gingham in there, more flowers, pretty roses, and polka dots, cupcakes. I mean, that is going to look amazing on a card. And then various other patterns, macarons, love a macaron. Some damask patterns, more flowers, teacups, they're really cute, and finally some cakes. Alright, so that's Sweet Moments by Dovecraft, and the one I've used is the 6x6 inch size. Okay, so coming back to my card, I finished it just with a little congratulations silver peel off sticker. I stuck that to some white card, cut it out, put it on a little bit of blue which matches the blue around the edge here, and then finished the whole thing with some silver peel-offs around the edge. Okay, so now on to the bit that actually you've come here to watch, which is how to assemble this inverted pyramid or tunnel topper. I've got the different layers here. So you can see where my craft mat's poking through that I've cut out the squares in the middle as well as on the outside. When you're assembling these cards, you want to start with the one with the smallest square in the middle first. So I'm going to take that one and turn it upside down. I need to make this 3D on my card to give that tunnel effect, and to do that, use foam pads. If you've got really huge foam pads like I do, you can just take a pair of scissors and just cut them smaller so that they'll better fit on your design. But if you've only got small foam pads, then that's great, that's perfect for what we need. You can also use the 3D foam that comes on rolls, so you'll just need to cut it in small pieces to stick onto the back of the topper. So I've got some little pieces I've already cut of my foam pads. I'm just going to start peeling these off and sticking them to the back of the square that I'm going to stick on my card. I like to put one bit of foam pad in each of the corners first because that gives a nice bit of stability to the topper. If you are cutting your foam pads like I've done, it can be a little bit tricky to peel these backings off. So it helps if you have long fingernails. I'm just going to put one more over on the right. There we go. Okay, so I've put these 4 in the middle bits as well, just to add a bit of stability to the edges. If I'd have only put the 4 on the outside, it would have stuck to my card, but these little bits in the sides would have started to sag under the weight of the other layers, and I don't want that to happen. I want it to be all nice and straight and flat. So that's why I added those extra bits of foam pad. I'm just peeling the tops of the foam pads off. And now this is ready to stick on my card. So I'll bring my card back in, and then these are so easy to stick together because they're all square and they're all the same size. So all you need to do is just line it up with the base one, so the one without a square cut out of it, and it'll perfectly line up, and then just push it down, and that's the first layer done. That was easy. So next we want to take the one with the next smallest hole, and we're going to do exactly the same thing again. I've already put my foam pads on the back just to speed things up a little bit. So I will peel the backings off and then stick it onto my card. Again, I've put one bit of foam in the corners and then one on each of the sides. So I'm just going to stick this one on. There we go. And now you can see the tunnel effect start to appear as all of these squares start building up. I've got my final layer, and for this one I had to cut the foam pads even smaller because there isn't an awful lot of room to put them. You want to make sure your foam pads don't go outside of the bit of card, because otherwise when you turn it over to stick it onto the card, you'll see those bits of foam shining through, which we don't want. So just cut them a little bit smaller if they're not quite fitting. So I'm going to put this one on here. There we go, push it down to make sure it's stuck. And then that is my inverted pyramid or tunnel card finished. Wasn't that nice and easy? Now with the design, it also came with these smaller versions of the topper at the bottom. So I have stuck one of those to the inside of my card along with a little strip of the same pattern paper that I had as an offcut, just to add a little bit of interest to the inside of the card. So here is our card. You can see it's got all these 3D layers. You can see the shadows coming through. It looks really effective, and when you've got that stood up on your mantelpiece, it is gonna give such an impressive effect. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up using the button below the video and subscribe to me on YouTube for weekly card making videos. Thank you for watching. Bye!